Hello everyone. Let's start the unit current electricity, which is unit 2 of the CBSE grade 12 syllabus. In this unit, the topics are electric current, drift velocity of electrons and current, Ohm's law, resistance, resistivity, conductance, conductivity, temperature dependence of resistance, then the color code for carbon resistors, series and parallel combination of resistors. Also, we will study about EMF and potential difference of a cell, internal resistance of a cell, the series and parallel combination of cells. In addition to this, we will study about Kirchhoff's law, Wheatstone bridge, meter bridge, and potentiometer. For now, today we are focused more on the concept of electric current and drift velocity of electrons and current. Now, first of all, what is electric current? It is the rate of flow of electric charge. That is, I is equals to dq by dt, or it can be written as I is equals to q by t, and q can be written as Ne using the quantization of charge. So I can be written as Ne upon t. The SI unit of current is ampere, and 1 ampere is equals to 1 coulomb per 1 second, or 1 coulomb upon 1 second. Current is a scalar quantity as it does not follow the laws of vector addition. That means that angle between the wires carrying current will not affect the total current. Now, current carriers, the charge particle whose flow in a definite direction constitutes the electric current are called as current carriers. For different type of material, there are different type of current carriers. For example, in solids, the current carriers are valence electrons. In liquids, it is positively and negatively charged ions. And in gases, which are usually insulator but can be ionized, in that it is positive ions and electrons. The next thing is drift velocity. Children, a metal conductor consists of a very large number of valence electrons, that is 10 to the power of 29 per meter cube. And all these valence electrons, they are moving with random thermal velocities in all directions. So if they are moving with different velocities in different directions, so the average thermal velocity is 0. That is u1 plus u2 plus u3 up to un divided by n is equals to 0. Now, if we apply some potential difference between the ends of the conductor and electric field is set up, because of this, the electrons experience a force in the opposite direction and they are accelerated towards the positive terminal of the conductor. While they are moving towards the positive terminal of the conductor, the electrons which are accelerated, they suffer frequent collision against the atoms of the conductor and they lose their kinetic energy which they have gained. This process continues till the electrons reach the positive terminal of the conductor. Thus, under the effect of electric field, the free electrons accelerate and acquire a velocity in addition to the thermal velocities which they were already having. But the gain in velocity due to electric field is there only for a very short time because it is lost in the next collision with the atoms of the conductor. So, the short time for which the free electrons accelerates before it undergoes a collision with the positive ion or atom of the conductor is called as relaxation time. Again, the short time for which a free electron accelerates before it undergoes a collision with a positive ion or atom of the conductor is called as relaxation time. Now, so if an electron is having a random thermal velocity u1 and it accelerates for a time tau 1, so it will attain a velocity, final velocity, which is given by v1 is equals to u1 plus a tau 1. Similarly, for the second particle, it is v2 is equal to u2 plus a tau 2. So on, for the nth particle, it is vn is equals to un plus a tau n. Now, let us define drift velocity. So drift velocity is defined as the average velocity with which free electrons in a conductor gets drifted towards the positive end of the conductor under the influence of external applied electric field. That is, the average velocity with which electrons are moving in a conductor under the influence of external electric field is called as drift velocity. That is, Vd is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3 up to Vn divided by n. Let's put the value of V1, V2, V3, Vn. So what we are getting? U1 plus A tau 1 plus U2 plus A tau 2 and so on divided by n. Now we have separated the terms. U1 plus U2 plus U3 divided by n plus A is taken as common and tau 1 plus tau 2 plus tau 3 up to tau 1 divided by n. Now, I hope you remember u1 plus u2 plus u3 up divided by n was equal to 0, and this tau 1 plus tau 2 plus tau n upon n, we are taking this as average relaxation time tau. So what we are getting? Vd is equals to a tau. Now you know Newton's second law. According to that, F is equals to ma. So A is equals to F by m. In place of A, we put F by m and tau remains. Now you also know F is equals to QE. We put that value. So what are we getting? Vd is equals to QE tau by m. Here we have considered an electron. That's why Q is replaced by minus of E. So what is the formula for drift velocity? Vd is equals to minus of E tau by. Now let us come to the next topic, which is called as mobility. What is mobility? It is the ratio of magnitude of drift velocity to the magnitude of applied electric field. In formula, we will write mu is equals to Vd upon E. Let's put the value of Vd, which is Q capital E tau divided by m, and the whole term divided by E according to the formula of mobility. So what are we getting? We get Q tau by m, and the unit of mobility is meter square per second per volt. Let us find out the relation between current and drift velocity. For this, we have considered a conductor of length L, area A, and having number density small n. What is number density? It is number of charge particles per unit volume. That is small n is equals to capital N divided by capital V, which is volume. What is the volume of a conductor? A into L, that is area into length. Now, what is the total number of free electrons? That will be equal to number density into volume, and we get N into A into L. According to the quantization of charge, Q is equals to Ne. So what we are getting? NaLe. I hope you remember I is equal to Q by T. We put the value of Q and we put the value of T. Now how we got this value of T? Children, do you remember velocity? Velocity is distance or displacement upon time. For this conductor of length L, the distance or length is L and time is T. So the velocity is Vd, called as drift velocity. So from this we can find out the value of T, which is L by Vd. Now L gets cancelled out, and what we are getting? I is equals to ANEVD, which is the relation between current and drift velocity. Now, let us recapitulate or revise what we have studied. The topics that we studied in this, the first one was current carriers. In solid, it was valence electrons. In liquids, it was ions, and in gases also, it was ions. The second topic that we studied was drift velocity. What is drift velocity? It is the average velocity with which electrons are drifted towards the positive terminal of the battery. And the formula was minus of E tau by m. The third topic that we studied was mobility, which is the ratio of drift velocity by electric field. The formula was Q tau by m, and the unit was meter square per second per volt. After this, we studied the relation between current and drift velocity, which is I is equals to ANE. Now you have an assignment consisting of 2 questions. Please look into the assignment. The 2 questions, the first one is a numerical regarding the drift speed of electrons in a conductor, where area is given, current is given, and density is given, and the atomic mass is given. In the second part of this, you have to compare the drift speed with the thermal speed of copper atoms at ordinary temperature and the speed of propagation of electric field of the conductor, which causes the drift motion. The second question is a conceptual question which says the electron drift is estimated to be few millimeter per second for currents in the range of few amperes. Then how is the current established instantaneously? Okay, the force causes acceleration, but the electrons acquire a steady drift speed. That is the second question, why? The third is a board question, that if the drift speed is so small and the electron charge is small, then how large current is obtained? The fourth part is that when the electrons are drifting in a metal from lower to higher potential, then all the free electrons are moving in the same direction. And the fifth one, what is the path of electrons between successive collisions in the absence of electric field and in the presence of electric field? So please do these questions. God bless you. Bye bye. Watch for the next video for the next topic.